What's up? Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Hope you're having a fantastic day today. We're about to talk some more liposuction. Get your questions ready. We're talking on large volume lipo, getting rid of that belly without the tummy tuck, BBLs, talking new waistlines, hourglass figure. How you getting that? You can see all of our patients, all of the pictures and behind me. None of these are tummy tucks, so no major cutting of the skin. It's a quicker recovery. It's awesome. Get rid of that belly.
Yeah, and if you guys really want to see some like amazing stuff, so I was informed that we had one of our previous patients post some after pictures from one of our front of the abdomen procedures on our support group. If you guys want to see some amazing stuff, jump on there and check out Carolina Campos' stuff. Quite phenomenal. We're going to try and get those loaded up, or at least maybe ready for next video to where we can highlight them here, but she did amazing and her results look amazing. She actually looks like very similar to Julia Roberts in the face. I kept giving her a hard time like that. So, yeah. How's everybody doing out there? We are killing it. It's a Monday, and the Rams won the Super Bowl yesterday. Check in, let us know if you watched it, and tell us who your favorite player was, because I'm telling you, that Krupp guy was pretty amazing. Did you watch it?
What's that?
The Super Bowl.
No. Who played?
Ah,
We're having
Rams and the Bengals.
We're having an issue with
absolutely.
Instagram.
We got some technical difficulties, I think.
Yeah, Instagram's
giving you a hard time.
Yeah. So as you guys are jumping on here on Facebook, if you have any questions, interests, we're going to be cycling through a bunch of different pictures here. Yeah, the Instagram's not. And if you're serious and you're interested in moving forward, our first step here is getting your quick quote. What's up, Tiffany? Get your quick quote up on the post here. So we're having some issues with the Facebook links, so you're gonna have to copy and paste that link and put it in your own search bar. So from the quick quote, this will get you a basic quote of some of our most common procedures. About 75% of people will fit into this quick quote. And if you're serious, and once you get your pricing, you have an idea of how much it's going to cost, and you're serious and ready to move forward, the next step is getting your formal consultation. Those are $100, and you'll speak with Kayla or myself before we move forward with your procedure.
The reason we do it this way is so that everybody can have a pretty good idea on what they're up against as far as from a finance standpoint. And then when you're ready, and you're committed, we're committed as well. We want to make sure you have the best experience ever. So we're going to sit and we're going to, we're going to call you up and we're going to discuss what your goals are, what your perception of your body is, and where we think that we're going to probably get the best, change or transformation, and discuss it with you and discuss what your goals are, and then move forward. So that's kind of how we do it.
So one of my favorite things that we do here is these larger volume liposuction. So when we do larger volume liposuction, there's definitely gonna be some risks involved, but you can see that the results are unbelievable. See how that fold. Now this is 2 months post-op here, and her belly is definitely substantially smaller, you can see, and 2 months post-op yet.
Go live.
2 months post-op, and there's the resemblance of a fold down there at the bottom, but the good news is that is still swelling. So she's still quite swollen, which is why it's still full down there. And I'm really excited because I know that fullness is going to diminish and go away in time.
Yeah, because listen, we're very proficient with what we do, and I can guarantee that we both worked really hard to get all of the fat.
Yeah, that fat's gone.
Okay, the fat is gone, but your body has this propensity to swell up and try and send a bunch of stuff there to fix whatever damage was done. And so she keeps her compression on and she keeps doing what she's supposed to do. This is going to flatten out over time, and she's going to look amazing. She's going to be one of our featured stories probably on our journeys page. I mean, this right here, sometimes this happens in life, right? There's a lot of stressors. The cards are stacked against us. We have poor nutrition in virtually everything we eat when we eat outside of the home.
Right.
We're kind of enticed and pushed to eat all this junk food, and life, that coupled with some stress and not enough time and not making a priority to exercise, can put your body in one of these states. So it's not healthy. In fact, we were discussing before we went live about some of our interactions today, and Trevor had one and I had one, and basically, my particular lady that I was speaking to, she was 61, and she says, yeah, I want to just be around for my grandkids. I need to get healthy for my grandkids so that I can enjoy them. So, that was pretty profound and amazing that she already had that insight, because usually it's me telling them why it's important, and she had that insight already, so it was cool. And I'll let Trevor talk about the one he had.
Yeah, so I had a lady this afternoon. She was about, she was 43 years old. She was 5'3", 250 pounds. She's a bigger lady, and she has a 6-year-old that she told me, she's like, I just need to live to take care of my kid. And she's like, right now, this belly is so restrictive. I have back pain, and she's so limited that she can't do anything. And she's just scared that he's only 6 now, and if she has her health fails her anymore, that she's not going to be able to fulfill her functions as a mother, let alone see him grow up and see any grandkids. So she was motivated, just like the 61-year-old, but she's at 43, that she's motivated to live. And that's really, I think, the people that we want to connect with, is those individuals that are looking to, this is not just a cosmetic procedure. This is a health procedure. This is significantly reducing your cholesterol, significantly reducing your blood sugars for your diabetes. It's significantly reducing your blood pressure. This makes big change. Not only that, we're not even talking about the functionality. Imagine not having that belly. When you sit, this one patient told me once, so now when I sit down, I don't have my belly to put my cereal on anymore. I mean, like, this is real stuff, right? How much do you think that belly gets in the way? Leaning forward to tie your shoes, going up and down stairs,
bending over to pick up your kids,
right,
bending over to pick up the grandkids. When you're on a flight, right, and that seat, man, everybody knows those chairs are not very big,
right,
and very uncomfortable. Just fitting in to those seats, fitting into those social, situations where you're not thinking about, oh my gosh, are they looking at my belly?
Mm-hmm.
And you can just live and you can relax, and that's going to lower the stress in your life, and it's going to give you some confidence. I mean, look at this one. This one is another one of those. Now, genetically, she was just blessed with some curves, and she was blessed to have, just a more shapely body than Giselle Bunsen, right? But, she came in, she understood that it was important to get healthy. We worked on the front of her abdomen, then she came back. We did the love handles, hips, and lower back, and she is absolutely loving it. So she is one of those females, like a lot of females out there, that has one of those sit-down jobs where she, organizes a lot of healthcare providers for one particular region or one particular area, and, it's very stressful, and so maybe life got away from her, and maybe that's you. En español, yo quiero una cita en una clínica, no por teléfono. Bueno, Jocelyn, si quieres, puede llamar a nuestra oficina y fijar una fecha con las mujeres, y si es necesario podemos hacer una consultación en oficina, pero la tecnología que tenemos es bien fácil de tener una cita por video o por teléfono para hablar y charlar en cuanto a cuáles son las metas que tienes. So she just said she wants an in-office consultation, and I told her we can, but with technology and the way we do this, it's so easy to do over the phone. Send in photos. We can discuss everything that you're wanting to do. That kind of restricts us trying to do it in office. Okay.
Yeah. So I agree. I would definitely suggest at least start with the virtual consultation, because look, we've seen thousands and thousands of people, thousands of bodies, and they're very similar in most cases. So start with the formal consultation, the phone, where we can review that stuff, and if after that you still feel like you want to be seen in person, we can make arrangements for that. We just don't have formal times set up at this point. However, we're in the office, so we can definitely work that out. Okay, Tiffany says, I had gastric surgery, lost 140 pounds. I'm 236. I have an extra skin, so can it be done for me?
So anything's possible. We just have to take a look at your body. Oftentimes the gastric, manipulation that's been done surgically basically starves your body, and you lose an excess of weight very fast, and it's hard for your skin to catch up to that significant weight loss. So, send in your photos. Let's take a look at it. Let's tell you, we'll give you an honest opinion on what we think we can do and what we think your results will be. It can't hurt. But yeah, what we found is with these gastric procedures, your body is basically starved of nutrients. It goes down significantly in all areas, and you have a hanging, skin type body. It's tough. At that point, it's tough. Sometimes you might need a little bit of cutting, but we don't do cutting. So give us a call. Let us take a look at your body, and we'll tell you what we can do. And if we think we can intervene and make it look amazing, then we'll do so. If not, we'll let you know as well.
Yeah, the truth is you never really know, and if you have a combination of fat and skin, sometimes, and some people will require some type of combination of liposuction and some type of tummy tuck. If that's what you desire, it's really ultimately it comes down to what you want, and everybody has their different desires. So with the liposuction, it has its limitations, how well the skin will retract back, especially when you've lost a significant amounts of weight. However, I've seen magic happen with this stuff, so I can't ever say that it's not possible.
Yeah, medicine is never a one size fits all. There are amazing cases that happen all the time. The body is very, resilient in what it can do. So let's give it a chance. Miss Muffin Cake says, I'm so glad you're live. Last year in April, I called your office every day for a month. Well, anyway, I'll just summarize. So she wasn't able to get in touch with us. Listen, call the girls right now. The girls are in, right there at the office. Okay, they can walk you through the whole online quote process. You jump on our website, you click on the I want a consultation, or I want a quote, quick quote. You go through the form. It's very easy. Okay, it can give you an idea according to how your body system or your body looks, and then when you're ready, you set up a consultation, a paid consultation. Trevor and myself will give you a call, and we'll discuss all of your goals. So
Ivis Hopkins says, how do I get insurance to pay for my surgery? So I've been doing this for 15 years now, and I've had, I think, one person who was able to get their insurance to pay for it. And how did she do it? I'll give you the how. You have to prove that this is a medical necessity. So what she did, she had arthritis, and so she went to her doctor and had the doctor document over a period of time that a loss in weight and reduction in size would benefit and decrease the chance of her getting a total joint replacement. So she documented this over the course of a year and provided it to the insurance, and the insurance approved it. So that's one individual out of thousands and thousands of people. And so theoretically it is possible. However, there's a cost to everything. And in this case, it's going to be a lot of your time, effort, and it's going to delay the process for you. So if you want this done quickly, the insurance is not going to be the quick way to get it. If you want to, pay for it and then work to get reimbursed by the insurance, that may be possible, but it's highly unlikely.
You just have to do a lot of legwork. It's a lot of effort, and it's just like setting up any type of disability claim. They have strict regulations on when they approve it, and it's quite an endeavor to do. So
Nancy says, I inject insulin. Can I still do it, or do I need a referral from my doctor?
No, that's not a big deal, Nancy. Just because you're a diabetic does not exclude you from this surgery. Like Trevor alluded to earlier, oftentimes after the surgery is done and your body is in a healthier state, the needs, the metabolic needs, changes, and sometimes you can get off of your medications. You have to talk to your primary care provider, the doctor that's managing your diabetic state. But yeah, when your body changes and it gets into a healthier state by not only doing this, but also doing lifestyle modifications, you're going to be in a healthier spot, and maybe you might not need insulin. Every case is different, so don't take my word with exactness. But yeah, it's an amazing procedure that can actually help you.
Ms. Muffin Cakes, how do you set up a virtual consultation? Go to our website, myshapelipo.com. Right on the front there, you'll see there's two options. There's a quick quote, which I suggest you do that first, so you get a basic idea of the pricing. And that's an instant thing. You don't need to put any pictures. This is based off of your BMI. So once you get your quick quote and you're ready to move forward, the formal consultation is also there on the website. Gives you the option to do that.
So Karen Gomez says, I don't want to be awake while the
procedure is done. Is that possible?
So the reason that we do it the way that we do, Karen, is because we feel that it's the safest, and we can intervene in the most appropriate way, give you the most aggressive results possible. Okay, so we keep you awake the entire time so that we can keep track on how well your body is doing. You know, that was the problem that people were facing. The problems come from general anesthesia, right? They have a reaction to the medications. They don't wake up. They have to stick around in the hospital and recovery room for a day or two afterwards. And this gives you the opportunity to show up. You know, in a couple of hours, we can change your body habitus and change the way that you look. We can attain some really, really amazing results, get very aggressive, and then you get to go home and sleep and, you know, basically recuperate in the comfort of your own bed. So
Muffin Cake says, is there any weight loss requirements? So I zoomed in on this picture so you can see. We did not ask this person to lose weight. We sucked out all the fat for her and made that fold go away. So you don't have to lose weight. It's your choice if you want to. However, I have seen, just from experience, that the people that lose weight tend to have looser skin afterwards. So I don't recommend that you lose a dramatic amount of weight, but if you want to start, getting in the process of losing weight before the procedure, so then you can continue that lifestyle afterwards, that's what we recommend.
So Deanna Alejandra 8482, I'm trying to make an appointment, but you guys don't have anything available until
This must
May.
be the free consultation.
So you're probably trying to go through like the old system that we had. Jump on our new system, jump on the web page, go through it. It'll give you a very rapid idea of what it will cost. And when you're ready, if you think that that is appropriate and you'd like to discuss further, then set up a paid consultation to where Trevor and I can talk to you personally about what your goals and move forward.
Can I get something soon? Absolutely. We have there's a couple of availabilities next month.
But I will warn you guys, so like this is how it works, right? Everybody spends a lot of money on Christmas, and typically they slow down in January and they say, oh, we gotta start saving again. February is kind of that same month, and then all of a sudden the income tax returns come in March, and people just start spending, and so we get super busy. So our March is starting to, become very, very packed. April's starting to get packed. May's starting to get packed. So, if you guys are really wanting to look good for summertime, now is the time to do it. Let's get on it.
Yep. So, people planning for the summer or any type of event, I highly recommend giving yourself about 2-3 months prior to the event in order to be ready. So when I'm talking about events like a wedding or something of that nature where you're trying to look a certain way for, like maybe a class reunion or something, a lot of people do that.
Yeah, it's actually, I love that reaction too that I get from our clients. They come in and they get the procedure, and because the results are so profound immediately, and they go off and they go to whatever family event or reunion, like you said, after they get back, they tell me, and I ask them, how did it go? And they're like, oh my gosh, people were like raving about how good I looked, and they were asking what I did, and it was just a very positive experience for them, boosted their confidence. So, I mean, if you're looking to have one of those experiences, then, come in and see us.
Yep. Give yourself 2-3 months notice. Okay, Allie said, do you offer payment plans?
Is this her?
This is a new one. Yeah. So we do offer payment plans. There's a financing option where we have a finance company that you can finance the whole procedure, and there's also it's kind of like a layaway type program where you can make payments on a monthly basis. Then when you're paid in full, we can move forward.
So this right here is Carolina. She's the one that looks like Julia Roberts. We worked on the front of her abdomen. Look how amazing that looks just working on the front of her abdomen.
And she just posted this in the group. So if you haven't joined our private Facebook group, she just posted this, and this is just the front of the abdomen?
This is just the front of the abdomen.
That's wild.
I know.
This is just the front of the abdomen. So these people, I have people sometimes are like, I can only do the front of the abdomen. Well, check this out. It's pretty incredible what we can do with just the front of the abdomen. And the reasoning why we only treat the front of the abdomen on some of these larger individuals is that there's an abundance of fat there. And we're limited by how much fat that we can remove in one procedure. So we focus everything on that one area. And this is how we can get the big changes, how we can get that fold to go away, that belly to retract back. And the cool thing you see about this is from the side view, that the belly is now sticking out less than the breast. So the breasts are sticking out beyond the belly. And that's the proportion that we're looking for. When your belly starts sticking out further than the breast, there's no definition and you lose that femininity and it becomes more like SpongeBob SquarePants. So if you're tired of being SpongeBob, then you got to come get this taken care of.
Right. Pretty amazing.
Yeah, fun stuff.
Miss Muffin Cakes, I'm in tears looking at all the results. Still not being able to. Oh, having a hard time. Okay, so you just go to our website, Miss Muffin Cakes. The updated website info is just on our website. You just click for a consultation. It should be really easy and very straightforward to get your rapid quote is what we're calling it.
MyShapeLipo.com. MyShapeLipo.com. Jenny Hernandez says, do you do lipo and hip transfer for the hourglass figure? I'm too scared of a BBL. That's kind of bizarre. I'm not sure what you're saying here. To create the hourglass figure, you got to get wider down below, which I understand that you're trying to say that's the hips. However, this is a nomenclature, so the words that we're utilizing are different. When I refer to hips, it's up higher up on the butt, and if you add volume there, it will square off the butt, which is not a good look and definitely not the hourglass figure.
So Jenny, just take a look at this picture right here. And as you can tell, what we did is instead of transferring fat and creating hips, that I think is what you're, I don't know, maybe it's just an idea of semantics. So by shaping and taking out this area up top, it makes our hips look bigger. Right? And so it looks like an upside down heart instead of carrying most of the weight up above it. So by doing this, it will definitely sculpt your body and give you a different look.
Right. So get the consultation. This is something that, when you're trying to determine whether you should be transferring fat to the hips, when you're just asking these questions, there are doctors out there that won't even question you. They'll just say, yeah, absolutely, I'll do that. And they'll do whatever you ask for. But I'm here to tell you, I've done this thousands of times, and I'm not looking to make bad results. And I'm not going to let you do something stupid to yourself that is going to get bad results. So we're getting these results because we do consistent things over and over and over. And it's consistent results.
López Mariana Tali tiene una pregunta. Dice, hola, ¿tiene algún sistema de pagos? Sí, do we have a payment plan? Sí, tenemos un sistema, tiene que hablar con los mujeres de la oficina, ellos pueden contestar todas las preguntas en cuanto a ese sistema de pagos, ¿ok?
So Mustang Sally asks how low the iron levels can be, and do you need to wait 6 months to do more lipo if it's a different area, or just until your iron levels are back up?
So your iron levels basically will affect the size of the red blood cells, and oftentimes if there's not enough iron or other substrates, you don't have enough red blood cells. So if your iron levels are low, we will initiate some iron therapy. We'll get your levels up to a certain level, your blood levels, and make sure that they're there so that you have enough red blood cells to capture oxygen in the lungs and take it to other parts of the body. And then once it's at an appropriate level, then we can go ahead and say yes. But oftentimes it's just a couple of weeks for your levels to get up.
And it's just for clarification, is the iron the thing that is going to determine whether they get liposuction or not?
No.
So what is it that determines?
The actual count of red blood cells that you have in your system. So that anemia. So if you have an iron deficiency anemia, meaning you don't have enough red blood cells that's caused by a lack of iron, we have to get that number up.
Right. So it's not, we're not looking at the iron as the determining factor. Like if your iron's below a certain number, you can't get the procedure. It's about the blood levels. So if you're anemic, that's the problem. Yep. And it might be because of the iron, which, then we help solve that problem.
Yep. And sometimes you need to have an iron infusion. But we talk about all of that after you schedule the formal consultation. We want this. Once you're committed and you show us that you're committed, then we're going to be equally committed, and we're going to try and make sure that we do everything to get you on the table and make sure that we work together to get some amazing results and do it safely.
Laura D75 says, does the fat come back in other areas? It's, it's not that the fat comes back in other areas. It's that if you gain weight, you're going to gain fat wherever you carry your fat cells. We are, through liposuction, removing fat cells. And once we remove them, they're permanently gone. So when you gain weight, which you can gain weight if you continue to eat, with a poor diet, you can gain weight. So where do you gain the weight? It doesn't go anywhere else. It's wherever you have the fat already. So if we take the fat from the midsection, it's not going to go there. It's going to go wherever else we didn't treat. So that's why we keep, prophesizing and telling you, like, just you gotta change your lifestyle. You gotta live a healthier lifestyle and continue to improve, because if you gain weight after these procedures, it's not a good thing for you. You won't like it.
So, and I think that just kind of, we need to further clarify that as well. Like, our mission statement in life is not to just suck fat so that you look good, right? It's not a quick fix. Our mission statement is, we're going to use this as intervention to get you healthy for the future and get you started on some healthy lifestyle modifications and changes so that you don't have to worry about the fat coming back. Okay? So, I mean, the fact that you're asking that question means that you've probably seen somebody that had some type of liposuction procedure and maybe they put the weight back on.
Right.
Okay? Well, listen, that's them, but in our practice, what we try and do is we try and motivate you to use this as an investment in your health so that you change things so that in the future you don't ever have to worry about that.
And the other thing is, when you see other people as an example of people, if they gain weight, what it looks like afterwards, that should be incentive for you to not gain the weight afterwards. Mm-hmm. And it shouldn't be a detractor, like a stop sign, like, hey, you shouldn't do liposuction because this could happen. It should be, do liposuction, but don't do what they did.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not a stop sign. It's a pause in a what is it called? Caution sign. Mm-hmm. Okay. Jojo says, would it matter if my A1C is higher than normal?
So diabetes is one of those states that is very, very, well, it's horrible. It really is. It can cause a lot of problems with your health. So we do want your diabetes somewhat controlled, or at least show us the intent that your body is getting to that state, okay? So yeah, I mean, if your A1C is completely off the charts, you're gonna have a hard time with healing. You really are, okay? So we're gonna work hand in hand with you to make sure that those levels are at least at a point. I mean, if they're higher, we get it. We've done a lot of diabetic patients that had a high A1C, okay? They did fine, they did amazing, all right? And we helped them out with their state. Okay, but yeah, there comes to be a point where it's just maybe a little higher than what we are comfortable treating, and so we'll work with you to make sure that it gets down before we do your procedure. Okay.
Okay. So let me ask you a question: if someone has a higher A1C, what does that mean for the procedure, for their outcome and the potentials afterwards?
So you just have a problem with healing, right? And you have this, there's typically, if your diabetes has been uncontrolled for a long time, you have a problem with circulation, okay? And, the arteries and veins are less compliant. You can have some problems with your kidneys. And if you've been a diabetic and you haven't had your kidneys checked for a while, you should probably do that. So, those two things, are integral in your recovery process. And so I would make sure that you follow up with your primary care provider, and let's ensure that you're healthy and your body's at a state to where when we get really aggressive and we take out a lot of fat, your body can heal itself.
Yeah. And obviously, one of the big reasons why we do this procedure for larger volume people is that we are removing this fat, which improves your diabetic profile. So your A1C will improve after this procedure. And that's the goal. We're trying to make people healthier so you'll live longer and have a better life.
It's also going to help with your cardiovascular system, okay? Your heart and the blood that gets pumped to all of the extremities. You're not going to have such a large volume that system has to send blood out to, okay? Because you don't have all those excess cells of fat because we took them out. And so your things like hypertension, your blood pressure is going to improve. So yeah, you're gonna look at yourself and you're like, man, I look better, and so your confidence is gonna be up, and you're gonna be a little more active. You're gonna have that intestinal fortitude to eat healthy and say, man, I want to maintain these results. And so it's just kind of like this big snowball that just starts rolling, and it just gets bigger as it goes down the hill.
Bless 3D Beauty says, would you recommend if you don't have children yet?
So listen, that is going to be a personal decision, okay? I mean, the fact that you have fat already in an area that you're concerned about, you know, is probably causing some sort of issue with your health, okay? It might be small right now, but eventually it's going to get larger. And it's probably affecting you mentally with your confidence. So, I mean, if you feel like that this is bothering you to the point that you want to have it, then come in and get it done. I mean, it's not going to, you know, it's not going to prevent you from having kids in the future. It really isn't.
I honestly, I don't think that there's any reason, I don't think it makes any difference at all, one way or the other. If you wait, great. If you don't wait, that's fine too. My sister, she had full body liposuction, and then she followed that with 2 kids. And what she told me is that when she got back to her pre-pregnancy weight, everything, all the results went back to that way. Now, obviously, with pregnancy, there's lots of variables and stuff like that happens. You might get stretch marks, but it shouldn't have anything to do with the liposuction, one way or the other. It's your choice.
How long is the leg or the neck lipo procedure? So I think probably, Miss Remy, you're probably referring to the chin procedure that we do, and you know that's a short, very short procedure, maybe 45 minutes, maybe an hour in total.
Awesome procedure though. It really takes your face from like a squared off face and defines this jawline right here. So we go above the jawline, which makes your face more oval, as opposed to when you start forming this here, it'll square off your face. And you can see this in the picture here, how squared her face or makes it more rounded. You know, it makes your face rounded when you don't have that line for the jawline. So with the liposuction of the chin and the neck and the jowls, we can create that oval face and define that jawline.
Absolutely. So Lorad says, I got a quote, I'm so interested. All right, great. And that's how the process works. You know, get your online quote, your very rapid price. You kind of understand what the cost is going to be for whatever area you want to treat. And then when you're motivated, you schedule a paid consultation. Again, you'll get Trevor or myself on the phone. We'll discuss what your goals are. We'll talk about all of your medical risk, and we'll make sure that we create a plan so that you have amazing results.
Another good picture of the chin here. You can see how we define that jawline and that profile significantly better. These are the people that when you start filling in, it's like your face goes into your neck and you have no definition anymore. And if you have that issue, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It probably drives you nuts.
So this is always a topic that comes up, the question of how much for that particular procedure. Listen, every body system is dynamic and unique in its own right. We have to analyze every body system individually, so you know it's tough. We just don't like giving prices, just random prices.
Quick quote, and it's right. It's just I'll tell you right now, it's right around $2,500 for the chin. It's quick and simple.
Okay, so he just threw it out there.
Yeah. I feel like people just need to have an answer. Just have an answer, make a decision.
Yeah, I get it.
Edith, do you transfer fat? Yes, we do transfer fat. That's it's called fat transfer. We do it mostly to the butt and to the breast for a natural enhancement. And if you're interested, get a quick quote on our website, myshapelipo.com. Get your pricing. Do you lose a lot of blood during the procedure?
No, that's one of the most amazing things about the way we do this is, you know, it's you don't have any major arteries or veins that are running through that fat layer. And so do you lose some? Absolutely, you do lose some, but is it significant? No, it's not. And that's part of the reason we like to keep you awake, because if you have a significant drop in your blood level, then you start to have mentation changes, right? If you don't have enough red blood cells carrying oxygen to your brain, we can typically see it in your behavior. And so that was one of the risks with general anesthesia. So no, you don't have a major loss of blood when you do this procedure, and that's why we want your blood levels to be at a certain level before we start. But yeah, it's a very safe procedure, and we do it very quickly, and we make sure that we do it with your utmost safety in mind. So come on in.
Very little blood loss, and the reasoning for that is actually the numbing medication that we use. The fluids that we utilize. Also, not only do they have lidocaine, which numbs you, but it also has epinephrine. Epinephrine, it constricts your blood vessels, which essentially pushes all the blood away from the area. So when we remove the fat, very little blood comes out, which is why when you'll see some of our pictures of the fat that we remove from people, the fat is yellow. The only way it is yellow is if there's very little blood in there. As soon as you get just a couple of drops of blood, it'll turn everything orange or even red.
Absolutely. So listen, whenever you get your quote, okay, we do not break things down. We do not itemize it as far as like, oh, it's going to cost you this much for the fat removal and the anesthesia is going to be this much. We don't, it's all included. The procedure is basically all inclusive. Okay. We put you on the table. Okay. After taking your photos, your pre-op photos, we create some holes where our instruments can go in. We insert numbing medication into that area. We do a smart lipo technology that helps with skin retraction and getting it to return to the state that it was before you got a little bigger. And then we do the suction. And for some, we go one step further and we do a fat transfer. But we don't charge you extra for anesthesia. No.
Real wife. Say if you get 360 lipo, can you get fat transfer at the same time? Absolutely. In fact, the way we'd like to do the fat transfer to the butt in particular is when we treat the waistline, and ideally if we're doing a 360 lipo, we treat the entire waistline. That gives you that hourglass figure, but it also allows us to treat that lower back area. And when we clean out that lower back, we can shape the butt and we can create the shape of the butt. In many cases, particularly when these larger individuals, when you fill in fat in your lower back, it's like the fat comes out and the butt looks flat. And so when we take that fat out in the lower back, we create that arch, and then it makes it appear that the butt's popping out. So then when we add some more volume through the fat transfer, we get a bigger contrast of a smaller waist and bigger butt. So that's the goal.
So Christy MS says, what happened if I do not know what is my IMC? So can I ask for my quote? So Christy, the idea is, it sounds like you're a Spanish speaker, the way you formulated that sentence. Okay, so the idea is you just put in how much you weigh and your height, and it calculates it for you right there on the page. And then once you have that, what category you fall into or what your BMI is, you can select the category that's appropriate. So it's very easy to do. So
and on the quick quote there on the second page of the quick quote, after you enter your information, there's up at the top right corner of the quote, you can change it from Spanish to English.
Yeah, which is interesting though, because she's using IMC, which is Spanish, and not very many Spanish speakers actually know what that is. And so when I revamped or added some of the grammatical changes into it, I put IMC/BMI. So hopefully that helps.
Okay, I'm on the phone now. My consultation was supposed to be on the 7th, but didn't get the call back. So look, all of our free consultations, the ones that we were backed up for months, those people are now being funneled into this quick quote system. So you get the quick quote first, and if you're serious and you want to move forward, then that's when things happen quickly for you. Get the quick quote, get your number, and if you're serious, and it's $100 for the consultation, and then we get your procedure scheduled.
Yeah, so Misha, the reason that we revamped the system is because we were getting inundated with people that wanted a price, and then they were taking up our time, and we were not able to get to everybody. So this is a way of kind of like, giving you an idea of what the price is, and when you're ready, let's move forward, and then you get us on the phone. We just don't have enough time in the day to call back everybody.
Erica Reyes, what's up? She says, hey, Dr. Artist T. She's the one that made the t-shirt for me.
Oh, nice.
I still have your t-shirt sitting in my office, Erica.
Can you sit on your butt after a fat transfer, or do you need a BBL pillow? So the fact, Cece, that you said BBL pillow means that you already know the answer to that, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, bottom line is, like, when we're injecting new cells into another part of your body, we really want to give it every chance to survive and take. So yeah, the idea is to alleviate pressure. I know that there are some surgeons that say, no, it doesn't matter. Fine. If you believe what they say, then go to their facility and get it done by them and see what results you get. But what we found is by alleviating the pressure and allowing the body to go ahead and reestablish a blood supply to those areas, it looks better and it does better.
Yeah. So, yeah. When you put pressure on the butt, it collapses those small blood vessels, which essentially chokes off the nutrients and oxygen getting to the fat. Now, I've seen patients that go to Mexico, and when they do BBLs in Mexico, they put compression garments on you afterwards, and those people, the results are, I wouldn't say horrendous, they're just, you don't get any results, all the fat dies.
Maria Contreras says, ojalá alguien pudiera traducirlo en español. Bueno, María, hay una opción en la segunda página a la esquina arriba, a la derecha, donde se puede cambiar el idioma desde inglés hasta español y eso ojalá funcione para usted. Estoy cambiando algunas cosas todavía, pero eso le puede ayudar. Ojalá.
So Misha on Instagram now, she's asking. Apparently, you did the free consultation back in December, and now the free consultation is now invalid. Absolutely, It's a complete changeover of our pricing structure. So whatever quote you have given in the past is not valid anymore, and you will go through the new pricing structure, which is a good thing for you. Prices end up being a little bit cheaper through the new structure. So start with the quick quote, and if you're serious, do the paid consultation. I want to speak to every single patient. That's why we're going to do these paid consultation. I want to speak to every single patient that we do a procedure on. That's this in your best interest. I want to make sure that we're doing the right thing for you. I want to make sure that you are in the right mindset. I want to deal with people that are ready to change their life. We're here to help people to transcend their life transformation. And so we're going to help guide you through that. If you're not looking to transform your life and you're just looking for like some cosmetic results, then this maybe is not we're not a good fit for you. So get the quick quote that you can get your price right away. Now, once you get your price and you realize, oh, I'm serious about this and I can do this price, this will work for me. That's when you do the paid consultation and then we get serious. So I apologize for those of you who scheduled those free consultations and we never got to you. But that's really it's people like you, which is the reason why that I developed this whole quick quote system, because I hate that we don't get to those people. I really don't like that we just didn't have the staff. We weren't able to get to you. We weren't able to call that many people and spend the time talking to them. So I'm trying to serve those individuals, and I apologize if you feel that we didn't serve you properly. We're doing the best we can to get in touch with you. Feel free, call the office. The girls are familiar with the situation, and we can get you taken care of as soon as possible. Is it better to get gastric than lipo?
No, Laura, it's not. It's better to get liposuction and make some lifestyle changes and really get committed to your health and then see where your body goes. Because gastric bypass, gastric sleeve, all of those interventions are really, really dramatic. And basically what you're doing is you're just limiting the amount of intake your body can handle. In a sense, you're just starving your body. And so you're always gonna have issues with absorption, with electrolyte imbalances. I mean, it's just, to me, if you're really interested in giving yourself the proper care, the healthiest care, do liposuction first, and then go and see where it goes and see where it takes you, see how far it takes you with your lifestyle modifications, and then do the gastric sleeve. But I don't think that you'll need it afterwards. I really don't. If you really get committed, you won't need it.
Right. All the gastric sleeve is doing is inhibiting your body from the nutrients. So all you have to do is close your mouth, and if you don't intake that nutrients that's making you fat, then you won't get fat. And all the sleeve is doing is physically forcing you, because basically what they're saying is, we don't trust you to change your diet. We don't trust you to not put that food in your mouth. And so that's the reason why we're going to force your stomach so even if you do put that food in your mouth, you're not going to want to. You're going to end up throwing it up. So you got to get control of your mind. It doesn't matter what you do. If you can't control your mind, then none of this stuff is going to work for you.
Yeah, in fact, if you really want like a cheaper version, instead of doing a gastric sleeve, just maybe get one of those ball gags. Right? And then just put a lock on the back, and then that will just impede you putting food into your mouth.
Right. I've heard. I knew guys that back in high school, they got their jaw broken from football or something, and they end up losing like 50 pounds because you simply can't eat. So if that's what you need, then block your mouth.
So listen, and all joking aside, listen, it all comes down to this, right? Okay, there are some metabolic conditions that cause you to put on weight, and we understand that, totally get it. But for the majority of most Americans, it's the Western diet, it's the laziness, it's the how we've created and developed as a society, and what the social norm is now. I mean, we don't have to go hunt and gather for our food anymore. Everything is very easy, and so that puts you in a very abundant mindset, and you think, oh yeah, it's I can just go get whatever I want from the refrigerator, and you just continue to put on calories. So if you can control this, what's in between the two ears, right, and you can get a handle of that, anything is possible.
Erica Reyes, one of our previous patients, she's sharing now and just talking about that, how important it is to do the hard work yourself and change your lifestyle. She was one of our big success stories. And, not only did we do the procedure with the liposuction, but she followed it up with the lifestyle changes. And she continues to live the healthier lifestyle, which is why she's speaking now to let people know that it takes more than just getting this procedure.
What happened? Did I?
What happened? Did you end it?
It just ended.
It ended.
Somehow it just shut off.
All right.
Unfortunate. Yeah, let's try and see if we can get it back up on Instagram. But yeah, so she's not. We have a lot of these success stories. We really do. This picture right behind us is one that frequently jumps on our support group page on Facebook and puts a lot of inspiring things on that and shows her transformation and the way that she continues to go and work towards an improved status of health. So, thank you for doing that, Stacy. You're amazing.
And it's people like Stacy and, Erica and many of our other patients that you'll see on here that it's people like them, which is why we say it's so important to live the healthy lifestyles. And we've been saying this for a while now, and these individuals have lived the healthy lifestyles, and they are now becoming the example of and why you should do what they did if you want to get the same results.
Yeah. Bueno, para toda la gente en español es importante. Bueno, sí, Castro, Lupita, hablo español. Es importante a saber que todo eso es un proceso, que empieza con la mente y desde la mente podemos hacer las cosas físicas para cambiar su vida y lograr un estado de mejor salud, ¿ok? Eso es lo que hacemos, ayudamos con esto y nos gustamos hacerlo. Es nuestra meta, es nuestro propósito en esta vida. Nos gustamos ayudar a toda la gente y dar buena karma a la universidad, a la universe.
Beba says, yo quiero.
Ahí está. Bueno, entonces sigue lo que hemos dicho, váyase a nuestra página de web para sacar su presupuesto rápido para que sepas más o menos lo que cuesta y después fijar una cita para una consulta. Vas a hablar si está en español vas a hablar conmigo porque yo no hablo español y podemos continuar y lograr sus metas en cuanto a su transferencia física, ¿ok?
So Brenda says, can you get lipo on the thighs even if I have varicose veins? So I have my story, but do you have any answer to that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, varicose veins are just veins that have kind of just, lost its structural integrity, and they've gotten very superficial and, very engorged, depending on the size. But yeah, I don't think it's impossible. No.
So varicose veins are in a different layer than where we're working. However, I've had this many patients who have had varicose veins, and when we do liposuction, the varicose veins actually decrease for some reason. And the only thing that I can think of is that when we break through some of those incompetent veins, because that's what the varicosities are, is incompetent veins. And when we break through that, those veins become less obvious, because the only reason you can see them through your skin is because there's blood in them. So when we break that, the blood just gets diffused throughout the rest of the body, and many of those varicosities will disappear. Not always, and it's definitely liposuction is not the treatment for varicose veins. However, I would not restrict you from getting liposuction if you have varicose veins.
Listen, my wife joined on here, and I just want to tell everybody out there, she is the better part of me, okay? Happy Valentine's Day to you. I'm so glad that you're with me in this journey, and I'm sure Trevor feels the same way about his wife. So, happy Valentine's Day to everybody out there. Make sure that you reach out to your loved ones and tell them how important they are to you, because this is like one of those days that is set aside, that's special, so that we can have that discourse and just reaffirm that, hey, our human connection is real and it's very important to us.
You see, you can even tell she's smiling from the way she's standing there.
Yeah, so this is my wife right here, yeah, and listen, she's awesome.
Stacy says they shaped my butt and they took out the fat in the lower back, which gave her a bubble butt.
That's right, we did, and you no longer look like a linebacker.
Right.
That was her saying, by the way, not mine.
Stacy's awesome.
I have a high BMI and I want to do Lipo 360 and a BBL in one session. Listen, cousin Crystal, we want to do what's safe for you, okay? So if you have one of those body types, okay, where you've got a lot of weight in the front, your body will only tolerate so much weight loss, so much fat removal in any one particular session, okay? So the reason that we divide these into 2 sessions is for 2 reasons. For your health, first of all, and secondly, so that you can get the best results possible. Okay, we work on the front of the abdomen. We make that abdomen nice and flat. It gives the skin time to retract and catch up. Okay, and then you come back and we do the other part. You look amazing.
Why don't you
give you a waistline?
Why don't you explain to them what happens if we try to do 360 lipo in one procedure on people that they're just too large?
Yeah, so it comes down to a percentage of body fat that you have, okay? And if you take out way too much in any one given session, you can have the propensity to develop what we call surgical shock. And that's where your body recognizes that there's trauma in the area that we're working, so it sends a lot of proteins, complements, fluids, electrolytes, all sorts of stuff to fix what's going on. And it basically can cause your blood pressure to go way down. So whenever you stand up or sit up, you get really, really dizzy. And you have this propensity to maybe fall over and hit your head, and then you end up in the ER, and we don't like that.
Nausea, vomiting, you feel like crap.
Yep, absolutely.
It's possible that you're putting yourself at risk. It's possible for much worse things to happen. So we're doing this completely 100, 1000% for your safety. So it's not trying to restrict you. We're not trying to make more money off. We're trying to get better results and keep you safe.
Yep. And bottom line is, if you take these individuals that have a higher BMI, most of the time they're getting turned down at all of these other facilities, right? Because the doctors say, oh no, I don't want to touch you, your BMI is too high, or they're saying, oh no, you need a tummy tuck. Okay, we're not going to touch you unless we do a tummy tuck because you have way too much. So we're here to tell you that you don't need a tummy tuck, that your body will do really, really well with just traditional liposuction. You just have to follow how we tell you or how we suggest it be done, and then you're going to get amazing results, okay? It's not because we want to make more money off you. It's just we want to make sure that it's safe for you and give you the best results possible, because ultimately you're going to be our advertisement in the future to your loved ones.
So Mustang Sally says, I know you suggest to stay for 48 hours, but do we have to see you in the office, or is it just a phone call? And you say that you're driving back home 21 hours. So first of all, Mustang Sally, get on a flight. Don't drive 21 hours. That's not in your best interest. After doing any procedure, liposuction included, you're at a higher risk for blood clots. And blood clots form when you're sedentary, so when you're not moving for extended periods of time. So driving is not moving for extended periods of time, which puts you at a significantly higher risk for blood clots. If you get a blood clot, you have to go to the emergency room on the road. It's going to be a nightmare for you. Not only that, the recovery process, you're going to be draining a bunch of fluid. It's messy in your car. So just get on a flight. If you're doing this for that can't be for money that she's doing it, because driving 21 hours is definitely not cheaper than flying. Yeah. Get on the flight. It's way easier. You can do the drive if it's for fun. You can do the drive later.
So Lizzie Torres asked a good question, and we get this a lot, right? So we get these people that look, and we get a lot of clients that look at their bodies and say, well, I only need liposuction in this one particular area. So that's her question. Can I just get lipo in one area? Listen, if that area that you're referring to is gonna, after when we do the liposuction, looks normal and it's gonna make everything else look normal, then sure. Okay, we'll say that, yes. But oftentimes when people come to us and they say, listen, I just want lipo in this particular area, if we do that and we take out that fat in that area, then it makes the other areas look disproportionately bigger. Okay, and it's going to give you some skewed results. And so part of our job is to give you the best results we can and allow you to be a walking billboard for what we do. And so then you got to listen to us. And so we're not going to do something to you or treat one area that's going to make you look abnormal so that you can go so everybody will look at it and say, where'd you get your liposuction? Oh, my shaped lipo? Ooh, yeah. That was horrible.
So right? This is why we kind of are skewing away from this whole, per area liposuction, because we're not treating areas, we're treating problems. And, sometimes the problem might be just the chin, it might be just the arms. And so if it's just that one area, yeah, it's possible to do a procedure there and, get good results because it's not really affecting the surrounding area. But when you talk about the abdomen is not one area. it's a big problem. It's all inclusive because it connects with everything. So when you try to do one portion of that bigger problem, the results just aren't good.
So Tanya Isabel El Boer, you have to jump on our website, go through the quick quote process. It'll give you an idea of what an abdominal 360 is, or it'll give you information on if we can even do it if you have a higher BMI. You know, some people that are on that higher BMI side, we suggest that we divide it up into two. Okay.
She's got the, I mean, it's 188. Just go to the quick quote. You have the information. You can just put your quick quote information, get your BMI, and it'll tell you the pricing.
Can I get both sessions in 1 week? No, you can't. Absolutely, you cannot. I know that you're ready, you're committed. We want to give you that shape that looks like a Coca-Cola bottle, absolutely. But you got to give your body time to kind of like, you know, undergo the first procedure, kind of catch up, hit a homeostasis type status, and then we can work on the other parts.
Christina says, what is a safe weight to get something like this done? There's no safe weight. It's about being healthy. So you know, you could be 300 pounds and healthy, and then it's safe for you. But if you can be 150 pounds and unhealthy, and it's unsafe for you. So it's not about the weight that makes you safe. However, obviously in larger weight individuals, they're going to have other complications.
So this is an amazing case that we did right here. We're going to zoom in on it just because it's one of my favorites. I always like to highlight this one just because of what we were able to do. You know, this is a young 26, 27-year-old female that just had, you know, listen, she had the propensity to collect a lot of fat, whether it be diet, whether it be whatever pre-existing condition, and she carried it right through this lower back, and it pushes down on the butt, makes it look like there's a bunch of cottage cheese there. And so when she came in, initially when I spoke to her on the phone, I was like, no, listen, we do this all the time. You're probably going to want to treat the front of your abdomen. But then when she got in there and she told us, and we are actually able to quantify it and see it, yeah, the lower back, okay, great. Yeah, we treated it, and you know, it just absolutely improved her confidence. And you know, what I'd like to highlight is how big it is in comparison to the upper body in this photo.
Right.
And then when you remove it, look how
it just totally changes the proportions.
the proportion looks different.
Yeah, that's what I see. That's what I'm talking about. Is like we're solving the problem. The problem here is really a proportion issue. It's making the proportions right. And when you're full in the middle, full up top, full down below, you have this square shape, this SpongeBob SquarePants. And then when we take that stuff out of the middle, it just she's still just as big up top, she's still just as big down below, but all of a sudden the middle's gone and the proportions are different.
Yeah, and what if she would have been one of those clients that comes in and says, listen, I'm happy with everything. I don't need anything else. I just need to do my arms. Right. Then she would have had really small arms and this gigantic midsection. Yeah. So you got to listen to us. We've done this quite a bit. We know what we're doing. So yeah, just trust us.
Christina says, is there a weight limit to get lipo, and is it safe for someone considered obese? You know, just take a look at the picture behind you. In all these pictures, really, all of our patients are considered obese. Not all of them, but most of them are considered obese. And, you know, that's why we make the certain rules. We're trying to keep it as safe as possible for these patients while we're making big dramatic changes.
Yeah, so Kimmy, Arizona says, where are you guys located? I think that was her. We're located in, oh, I'm sorry, that was Tanya. We're located in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's an easy flight. It's cheap to fly into Vegas. You know, Vegas had a really, really amazing idea. Let's make it easy for people to come here and lose their money. Okay. Well, when you come to Vegas this time on this trip, when you get your surgery, you're actually going to, I would say you're going to make money. And here's how. Follow me. Okay. So if you come here on a gambling trip, you're probably going to lose money. Okay, that's just how it's set up. That's why the strip looks like it does, because they're not in the business of losing money. Okay, they make a lot of money. Okay, but when you come for a surgical procedure, liposuction, over time, even though you're going to come out of pocket and you're going to undergo this surgical intervention, and you're going to lose, you know, we're going to have you on the table. Over time, your body's going to be in a healthier state, so you're going to spend less money on things like, diabetic medications, hypertensive medication, doctor's visits, because you're healthier. You know, you're going to spend maybe initial cost. You're going to get some new clothes because your old clothes are not going to fit you. But you know, you're going to do so much more with your life because of all this added energy, and you're going to be more productive at work. And all of this is going to snowball. This whole mindset that we have, this lifestyle change, you're going to make money overall. And whatever the initial cost, the initial investment is going to be minuscule in the amount of what you're going to get back in return.
Okay, Christina was asking if anyone answering the Facebook questions. We're here. It just takes time. We got lots of people. We're getting to it. Apologize.
So Lily Torres 07, does Lipo 360 include the bra line area? No, that's a little bit higher, okay? So we work front of the abdomen, we get the love handles, we get the tops of the hips, and then we get the lower back. The bra areas typically are treated or addressed on a separate procedure where we can address the whole bra section, which is this section coming all the way up into the shoulder and into the arms. We get better cosmetic results when we do that.
Can you go back to that last picture, Granville? So Christina's asking again about the larger volume patients. You're saying you're 275. That's probably what she is. I'm just guessing, but that's probably right around the same as you. And you can see how we treated the front of her abdomen there. The middle picture is the in between where she's still swollen, and then afterwards, all the way on the opposite side, you can see that her breasts are sticking out farther than her belly. That's a proportion issue. So when your belly is sticking out further than your breast, that's a proportion problem. So when we take that away, it changes the whole proportions of your body and you look like a different person. In addition, for these larger individuals, particularly those when you're talking 275, it restricts your motion, your mobility. It restricts all the things that you do. Many of these people can't find clothes that fit them appropriately. So this is a big dramatic change for you, and absolutely we can help you. Is it safe? It's safe, but there are risks, and particularly when we push the limits further with these larger individuals, it's tough. Recovery is difficult. You're more swollen, more bruised. You're more likely to have this lightheadedness and dizziness afterwards. That's normal after these larger volume patients, but we can help you.
So 08 Deluxe Harley says, trust what they say. She's so very happy with how they make our bodies look proportional and wonderful. So she was a very, very pleasant, client that we had that initially came in and got one area treated because she thought, I just need this. And then she, after coming in and, conversing with us, then she realized, I probably should have done this other area as well. And I'm glad that she did get to come in twice because she was amazing. We had a great time working on her both times, and I consider her just one of the most genuine clients that we've had, one of them. And so thanks for coming back twice. But we hopefully, I saw some photos and I think you look amazing. So I'm glad we were able to help out with that.
So Christina, Christina, I'm speaking to you. You've let all these questions you're asking and saying as nobody answering my questions. I'm speaking to you specifically, Christina Quiros. Again, you're saying, so if I weigh 350 pounds, can I get this procedure? It's not about the weight. Some people carry their weight differently. We have patients that are they're 350 pounds, but they don't carry much around their midsection, and it's totally different. Some people carry it all around the lower body. That's why the larger individuals don't fit into our quick quote, because there's so much differences. It just depends on how you carry your weight and what needs to be done and what's even possible for the larger individuals. So all these questions, I haven't seen any pictures of you. I don't know anything about you. I don't know your health history, nothing. So if you want some serious, you want me to look into your specific situation, then schedule the paid consultation. I'll go, spend some time, research it, look into everything for you, and we'll develop a plan.
So there was another one that, let's see, Rosie's MZ, can someone get multiple sessions in the same area or just once? Listen, Rosie, I think that's inferring that you don't think that, we're gonna get an amazing amount of fat out, and we're really not gonna be able to do what we profess we do. Listen, there are a lot of photos that show that we do, and these are all just one session.
All of these are just one session.
Yeah.
All of them. None of our patients are coming back from multiple sessions. Any doctors that tell you have to do multiple sessions in one area, they're just not doing the same stuff that we're doing. They're not getting as much fat as we're getting. And you get, these prices are for one procedure, and these are the results with one procedure.
Yeah, one area. So listen, everybody practices medicine a little bit differently. We've just, we've adopted some practices that have given us the ability to get these results. And, if you think that the other guys are going to be able to do it the same way, I doubt it. Maybe they can copy what we do, but, we do this consistently just so that we can have you come in just one time on the front of the abdomen and then come back on the next procedure and do left handles, hips, and lower back and continue that waistline. So there was a Spanish one. What did it say?
Yo quiero hacerme la papada.
Okay, bueno, ella está diciendo que ella quiere hacer esa parte acá. Bueno, váyase a nuestra página de web para sacar un presupuesto breve. Okay.
Sama, what's better, bariatric surgery or lipo? We discussed this earlier. Bariatric surgery, we don't recommend it. We don't do it, obviously. So you might choose it because you believe it's right for you. That's okay. But it's a weight loss procedure. Liposuction is going to physically remove the fat cells. When you lose weight, the fat cells is just shrinking, whereas liposuction is physically removing the fat cells. It's a different plan. And you have to make the choice. We can help discuss these options with you and help you make the right choice based off of educated decision.
So here's a statement. Always Jen says, I want to lose first and then do cosmetic surgery. Listen, I wish I had a nickel for every time I heard that and it actually worked out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I mean, some people do it. You're absolutely right. But I can tell you there are a lot of people that say the same thing. And guess what? In 2023 of next year, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, why didn't I just go do it?
Yeah.
Why didn't I? Because oftentimes people will treat this as their starting point, right? Because whatever you're doing that got you to the point that you're at is some sort of behavioral problem. And so you need something dramatic to go ahead and shake up the brainwaves and say, listen, I'm invested into this. This is something that I really want to do. And I've really come out and I'm creating ownership of it. I'm coming out of pocket. It's a sacrifice. And then you get to effectuate a significant amount of change. Okay? That's how a lot of people do it, and that's super effective. Okay.
So Christine, you asked, what do we do to make sure the health of our patients? So first of all, we start addressing that once you commit to us. So once you commit to us and place a deposit, then we'll start doing blood work and we'll evaluate your health situation. So we get a full health history and we evaluate everything. And again, part of the screening process is doing the paid consultation. So when we do the paid consultation, we're going to ask some basic information about your health and your any disease processes that you might have, like diabetes. And then we also ordered lab work based off of the information that you provide to us that we would utilize to clear you for the procedure.
So NG Cuevas, hey, real quick, Granville, can you put up the silver bikini picture? Okay. So she asked a question. NC Cuevas asked, hi there, how many liters of fat can you lipo? Okay, so it's kind of like that new movie Encanto. We don't talk about Bruno, but we don't talk about the amount of fat we take out either. What we do is we take out the amount of fat that your body can tolerate, okay, and everybody is different. So how much do you think was in this right here?
The medical term?
And does it matter? It doesn't matter. As long as you're getting the results that you're looking for, the results that we think that you can have, and the results that's safe and healthy for your body, okay? So I'm not sure it's important to put a number on anything, okay?
So Christina says, as big as I am, I would want to do it done little by little. That's cool, that's like, if you have a big problem, you're just taking a teaspoon at a time, that problem's going to be extremely expensive and take a shitload of time to get all that fat out of there, especially if you're 275. We need to make big dramatic change. But again, it's up to you. You got to feel confident and comfortable with this. If you're not confident and comfortable, then it's not time for you. Not yet. You got to do other stuff, whatever that means. If that means you need to go do your weight loss surgery to convince you mentally, you got to get there mentally and try your other things first. And when they don't work, that's when it's time to try something different. And maybe this is your next different. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not your time. Maybe it is. You need to make the decision. Zara, so excited for my consultation this Friday. It took me a long time, but I cannot wait to start my journey.
Atta girl. So that's the appropriate discourse and language that you should use. This is a journey. This is a process, okay? This is just a small step. We're going to be very aggressive and we're going to make sure that we get out as much fat as we can. And from there, the recovery process and what you do to change those behaviors that got you there is going to be so important. So I like that terminology.
Okay, so Mustang says she's got plenty of reasons not to fly. How long do I have to stay in Vegas for the blood clot issue? Trying to figure everything out. Maybe stay at a KOA. I want to spend.
Wait, those
money
things
on
still
lipo.
exist? KOAs?
Yeah, they're actually pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
So here's the thing. So to be safe, the blood clot is when you're sitting for extended periods of time. So the recommendations, even if you're driving, most of our patients will drive from like Arizona. It's about 4 or 5 hour drive. So the recommendations is to stop every 45 minutes to an hour to get out and just literally walk around the car like I call it Chinese fire drill. Get out, walk around the car, get back in, and you're just getting some circulation. That'll significantly reduce your risk for blood clot, but not eliminate. So you have to realize in choosing to do this, you are elevating your risk factors, and it's a higher propensity for forming blood clots. So if that happens, which it is possible, you just have to be prepared for that situation.
Yeah, so Rosie's MZ asked about the recovery process. So that's kind of the start of the recovery process. Once you do undergo the surgery, okay, then we have you back in the office the next day and we do a lymphatic treatment on you and we make sure you're doing all okay, make sure we answer all your questions, make sure that you're well informed on how the recovery process is going to go. And then, we want you to stick around for, another day just to make sure that we can ensure that you're doing okay. And then when you travel back home, like Trevor said, if you're driving in a car or flying in a plane, every hour or so, just get up and walk around. The actual contractions of your calves pump blood back up into your heart. And so we want those to, prevent a blood clot from forming. And then, a couple of days and you're probably back to normal. You're probably, well, not back to normal. You're probably back to, doing activities of daily living, go to work. We have, a lot of patients that have come in and got treatment and gone back to work the very next day. So it just depends on your body. But yeah, it's a very non-invasive procedure. So you're able to get back to work, get back on your feet a lot quicker.
Sama says, I have a kangaroo pouch. After moving all day, I feel pain in my hips under this damn fat pouch. Can that pain go away? So I have seen some incredible things that happen that we can't predict. I've had patients that have fibromyalgia, that the pain goes away after liposuction. I have no idea why that happens, or it did happen for that individual, but it did. Many times back pain goes away when you reduce the belly, because the belly physically is pulling the body forward, which causes back pain. So if the pain is being caused by the fat, then in many cases the pain will go away, but that's something that we don't know for sure.
Yeah, and you know what? Recent literature and studies, especially in functional medicine realm, is linking so many of our disease states, chronic disease states, and just overall bad health to what goes into the gut, right? Problems with mentation, the neurologic system can be tracked back into the gut. That's what they're presuming and they're studying right now. So maybe you just having that bad lifestyle, carrying all that excess weight, by you losing that weight and transforming your diet and eating a healthier lifestyle, whoever it was, maybe that improved their mental status, and maybe that's why the chronic pain syndrome such as fibromyalgia went away. Who knows?
All right, so last one here. Christina says that she'll schedule the consultation. Good to hear. You've already started some health changes to drop some weight. Look, that's something that you can start now. It's free, right? Start your lifestyle change right now. It's free. Do that. Start losing weight now and get these procedures, and the procedures just kick you down the road. So it pushes you forward into your changes. This is what I'm talking about. We're walking people through their life transformation. So you're in the process of a life transformation. We're going to get you there a lot faster. That's the goal. So start your health style choices now, and then continue them and strengthen them as you go, continually improving. It's a constant improvement. If you're constantly improving, your life's going to change. It's just a matter of time. All right, thank you guys for watching. And if you're ready, get that quick quote. Go to our website, myshapelipo.com. And if you're serious and you're ready to move forward, then it's time for your formal consultation where you can speak with us directly. So thank you for watching again, and we'll see you next time.